Hey guys, we're live here at Breakthrough. Hope that you're able to join us, but I'm here with the lovely Gina McGoldrick, who is a very special mom here. She brings her girl Cadence here for PT, and we've been talking a lot. Gina's gotten her Reiki cert during the process that Cadence has been coming here, and I've just heard so many great stories about it, and I wanted to bring her on here to share all of the amazing information with you guys, because I think that it's something totally beneficial to not only your children, but you guys yourselves too. So I'm really excited to have her here to talk today. So we're just going to get right into it. If you guys have questions while you're watching, make sure you just put it in the chat, and we'll just ask Gina to answer them on the spot. So thanks, Gina, for coming in.
Oh, thank you. Tons of thank yous.
So why don't you give us a little background about how you kind of got into Reiki?
Well, I've been receiving Reiki since 2008. I was blessed to live across the street from a shaman, and who introduced me to Reiki. And he invited me over and showed me some techniques of relaxation. My daughter is medically fragile, and I needed to get the anxiety and the depression under control. And it was, for me, I would have panic attacks. So I had to calm my mind down, and I wanted my preference to do that without medication. So he showed me breathing techniques, which I would like to show everybody. Also, he showed me, just to take that step back and really see the broad picture of everything and not jump and listen, just listen. So for about 11 years now, I've been receiving, and this past year, I said, you know what, I just love this therapy so much that it's time for me to get certified. So not only am I I am actually a level 2, which it is a certification of level 1, level 2, Reiki Master or Reiki Master Teacher. Okay. So being that I am a level 2 practitioner, I can actually treat children, adults, animals.
Conveniently.
Yes. So, and it's been an incredible journey this year. I've met so many amazing people, but I've heard so many beautiful stories, and and I work on children with special needs that really help with their calmness and anxiety, because especially our nonverbal children, sometimes it's just such a guessing game with them. So I could kind of figure out what's going on, like whether, they're in some type of pain or discomfort just by their energy.
That's
so
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's been a really great ride. So this past year. Yeah, so first I would like to start off, I would like to sage the area. Saging is an old technique to cleanse for residual energies, and it's a clarification. So I always start my sessions off with cleansing the area, cleansing the person that I'm going to treat, and just getting rid of all negative energies surrounding. Also, I work with healing wands. My healing wands actually vibrate in my hands. So when I'm over someone's body, I can feel certain areas of their body where the energy is a little bit more intense, and that's where I need to focus. I need to focus my hands on that area a little bit deeper. But these, I love these. These are great.
Awesome. So in every Reiki session, are those typically used, or it's just a way that you do it?
I use these. Oh, not every practitioner uses Reiki wands, healing wands rather. I just prefer to use them. I love crystals. I work with crystals as well. I do crystal Reiki now as well. And but the wands just tend to direct me more.
Okay.
So yeah, it's just the way I like to work it.
Yeah.
So everybody's different.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But I'll start giving some, educate everybody on some Reiki and where it's originated from. Reiki has actually been around for centuries. It is a old Japanese healing method, and it has evolved. There are so many different types of practices now with Reiki. But I like the original. I'm just hands-on, and it's either hands-on or hands above.
Okay.
So I noticed with a lot of the special needs children, they're very sensitive. So you can't really touch them. With my own child, it's different. She knows me. But what I'll do is go above them, and I could still feel energies.
Okay.
So I can actually go almost 3 feet above them, and I can still feel their energy. And I can tell you that after performing Reiki on a child, you'll see that they're a little bit more calmer. They're calmer, they're more relaxed, even though they might not understand what's actually happening around them.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I've actually even gone to people's houses to do Reiki while their child sleeps. So it's easier to, you don't have to, yeah.
So you don't feel like there's any difference of effect of whether they're sleeping, whether they're awake, whether
No.
they're, okay.
No,
Awesome.
yeah. So, and I can do that through covers, or, some people, do you want me to take down the covers? So I move them, and I'm like, no, just leave it the way it is. So real quick, I wrote some notes down so I didn't forget anything.
Oh my goodness, people that joined us.
Yeah.
Hi guys.
I don't have my glasses on. I took it off.
I have to put them back on to see who's in here.
Thanks for joining in. Okay, again, Reiki is a Japanese stress reduction technique that promotes the body's relaxation response and natural healing ability. So basically, if you're not well, the first thing most people do is you want to go to sleep. That's the only way you're going to heal. So your energy is absorbed so much from people, from even conversations on the phone with your friend, and they're having a bad day, and now you hang up that phone, and all of a sudden you're like, oh,
absolutely.
wow.
It's so true.
Yeah, so your body's actually absorbing that energy, and the way to release that is through meditation and Reiki. So it's just this form of release, like, okay, that weight is completely lifted off my shoulders now. So, and most people don't know that Reiki is actually 2 words, and it means 2 different things. So Rei is a divine wisdom, and Ki is a universal life force, also meaning spiritual energy or spiritually guided energy. It is a life force. It's almost, like its own entity in a way. And it's just, it's a release. Reiki dissolves the illusions of fear and empowers your soul to relieve your loving and authentic truth, filling your entire being with love and peace so that you may overcome all obstacles. Now, I've noticed since receiving Reiki, also performing Reiki, I feel like I can tackle things more. I can make those dreaded phone calls to the insurance company. I can, I just had an incident with the insurance with my daughter's medication. I said, bring it, let's find out what's going on and how we can solve this problem. So whereas I would just have such anxiety before I made that call, and I didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do it. I was very frightened to find out what the outcome was going to be. But now I just see it in a new light almost. And, you know, it's a great feeling, you know, knowing that, you know, bring it, let's go.
Yeah. And I'm sure that a lot of the parents too that will be watching this or watching now, you guys go through so much stress every single day, so much anxiety. Gina lives it. I hear about it every single day that we're here. And if you have that constant energy of anxiety, of dread, of like, you go to how many doctors does
15.
Like
She has 15 specialists.
15 specialists.
Yeah.
Like that's not a typical way that you have to go about your lives, and you have so much added stress on every single day that you guys need. How many times have we had self-care workshop stuff because it's so needed? And
It's
this is
so
like
needed.
another way of making sure that you're taking care of yourself ultimately so that you can take care of your child and your family. And if you're not well, then you're not going to be able to give that positive energy into your children, into your special needs child, into your typical children, into your husband, your wife, anybody.
What do they say when you're on a plane? They say before you help somebody else, you have to help yourself. So if we don't keep ourselves strong, there's no way we can help our own children. Put that oxygen mask on. Calm down. See the bigger picture of everything. Don't jump when something is not going your way, or don't jump when, you know, the school is cutting services. Yeah, you know, see the broader picture, and then you can tackle it. I feel, you know, you can say, okay, you know, write it down. Why is this? And how can we keep certain things in my child's life?
Right.
You know, I've had it where I was what they call CSE meetings with our children, my daughter. I'm also a volunteer. I volunteer for our schools to sit in with an advocate. I'm a volunteer advocate. Think about that word. And yeah. And I've sat in lots of CSE meetings where these parents were so afraid to say something about their own child. And here I'm going, no, this is not going to happen. You're not going to do it. Don't worry. You're going to keep your services. Yeah. So, you know, I really, you know, it's all about just this, the mind clarity as well, you know.
Well, when you have a million things, I can only imagine. I obviously don't know what it's like to be in your shoes, but I'm around it enough that I feel like you guys just constantly have like snowballs thrown at you all the time. That like you it's hard to get that clarity too of like each situation, because by the end of the night you've had 15 other situations thrown at you that it's hard to maintain that clarity through the day so that you can still handle the situation appropriately and honestly for the best of yourself too.
And because of all of that outside of your own child, meaning the doctors, the insurance companies, the pharmaceutical companies, your body is absorbing all that energy to the point, I know people that lose their hair, that have lost their hair, that lose weight, that can't eat, you know, just, and I found that Reiki really just calmed me and just pulled out this negative energy, this heaviness off my chest, where I can breathe and I can go on with my day. Yeah. I mean, and I've actually even worked with the elderly as well now, doing Reiki on them, and you know, I just to calm down their anxiety. So it's you know, it's a beautiful type of therapy that I've been a part of for over 11 years now. I've seen things happen. I've seen people change. I've seen people that would always overact just calm down, you know. And even when I performed Reiki on your sister, she told me she felt just such a release.
Yeah.
So.
And it's funny that you said the thing about the phone call, because I specifically remember, Michelle won't mind me saying this, but that she said that she had a very important phone call that she was dreading making and didn't want to make it. And after Gina had treated her through her Reiki practice, I think it was probably the next day or something, did she say? Like, she went and she made the phone call, and after that, she had such a big release because it was this big phone call that she had to make. But after that, she was able to have the courage, the calmness to handle the situation. And then she was able to get that over with and overcome that hurdle that she had been literally procrastinating on it for a while because it was so anxious and such a block for her. And like that just one treatment session with Gina, she was able to gain a little bit more clarity and calmness about it and proceed. And she's better off now because of it.
She even told me the girls were even calmer. They felt her energy.
Cool.
They felt, now that's a big thing too.
Cool. How
yes.
can those girls
they slept
be?
for 3 nights straight without waking up. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, Mom was calmer.
Yeah.
Her mind is not all over the place. So the kids feel it. And that's another thing with our children. They feel your energy.
Chance feels my energy
all
the
time. Oh yeah, I can tell.
He has anxiety because of me.
So, but yeah, I've noticed. I've been in the doctor's office, and the doctor was telling me something that I just did not want to hear, and I was fighting the tears back. I didn't want to lose it in front of Cadence. So when we got into the car, she started crying. She did the crying for me. She felt me so much that it was overwhelming. You know, and I just looked at her and I just said, it's okay, baby. Mama's fine. I'm okay. We'll get through it together. You know, and that's a lot of our children. They feel you.
Yeah.
So you gotta, we always try to like hide how we feel, but sometimes it's just, you don't have to say anything. You don't even have to look at someone. They can just feel it.
Right.
Yeah. So when you have a Reiki session, a lot of people feel heat, either heat, you'll feel a little tingling, little pins and needles. I know people that actually even felt like they were floating, but also the most relaxation you can ever imagine. And I say, now when I start my sessions, I always say, even though the kids are all over the place, you have so much on your mind, the session is for you and you only. So I'm going to help you calm your mind, relax, and just enjoy some peace, quiet time for yourself. It's very intimate. That's why when you ask if I do it on camera, I just feel like it's a one-on-one. It's personal for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I also have to state that Reiki is not a religious thing. This is just a form of therapy, like you're going to a chiropractor. There's also lots of hospitals that have Reiki practitioners now that actually come in and perform Reiki on their patients.
Why do you think that maybe Reiki isn't so well known yet? Like, I heard about it back in PT school because there was a group that was doing a research project on it. But why do you feel that it's taking so long to kind of like get out there?
Well, now because it's really evolving and there's so many different types or techniques of Reiki now, but they all do the same thing. I've seen it become more and more popular now.
Okay.
Most people at least have heard about Reiki, but don't know exactly what Reiki is. Mm-hmm. Or they could think it's some, God bless you. They just know it's energy. But you don't know what kind of, what does energy mean? Right. We're all made up of energy. And that's why we absorb things. And that's why we get scared. We get up, it's just, we have to learn how to control these emotions as well.
Right.
So it's definitely getting more well known now. I maybe 10, 15 years ago, some people feel like it's taboo in a way, but it's not. It's just a form of relaxation. It's an energy healing. Mm-hmm. you know, and it's by force. So yeah, it's definitely becoming more and more popular. So.
So you're saying that, so when you're performing Reiki on someone, you feel the heat and the tingling, or
Sure,
they do?
we both do.
You both?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I tend to, like I said, I work with the wands. So when I go over someone's body, now I don't even need to touch anybody. I can literally either feel a strong sense of vibration, heat, or even coolness from their body. So if there's an area that I feel a very intense area, I tend to focus more on that area. You know, I know some people have, you know, not that I'm a doctor and I'm not trying to diagnose anybody. I'm not a psychic. It's just
You're not?
I'm not. But I'm just a mom. That's all I tell everybody. I'm just a mom, and with the passion of this beautiful therapy. But yes, so when I go around, I do a full circle. Okay. And I do travel with a massage table, because I do go to people's homes. So what I do is I have them lay on the table, and I always ask, is it okay if I touch you? If it's not okay, it's fine. So I will go I like to work in a full circle. So I'll start with the head and slowly go around your whole body. And if there's, like I said, an area where it's just really intense, giving off a lot of heat, I will focus more. Some people fall asleep. Most people do fall asleep. They're so relaxed that they just go to sleep, and go ahead, go for it. Some people will feel me, and you know, and you'll feel me walk back and forth, you know, but then I can pretty much assure you, you're going to feel really good after that therapy, after that session. So yeah.
And so it's kind of absorbing the negative energies out of them.
I'm trying to pull out all the negativeness, and just give you some, you know, peace.
So do those, like, if you feel heat or cool or vibration, do those things mean different things?
It just means that there is either an area in your body that you're not feeling so good about, you know, or maybe you had a stomach ache, and maybe that's why I'm feeling it. I can't pinpoint why you feel that way. I just know what I feel and what your body's giving to me, you know. So and that's why I would focus more on that area,
right?
You know. So I even like with Chance, I was just having a feeling.
She did Reiki on Chance. How cool is that? Chance laid down on the mat and was so calm, and he was like sleeping, right?
He did fall asleep. He was drooling. He was totally drooling. Yeah, but that's, you know, and like I said, I just felt like certain areas of his body was giving off too much, a strong amount of heat. Everybody's different.
Yeah. And
there might not even be, you know, it could be just an area in your body that has some tension. So I'll focus a little bit more on that. But I won't diagnose anything, or you know, but and I won't, you know, say that someone's coming to me, and I'm not going to tell you spiritual things, and I'm just going to go in and just feel your energy.
So is it like a thing that maybe people hold anxiety in different parts of their body?
Sure.
So like that contributes to musculoskeletal issues,
sure,
like knee pain, back pain, things like that, like holding anxiety? Or do you find that maybe when you're doing it, anxiety is typically held in your chest, or is it
all over your body? It's almost like you know, when you work out and then you don't work out for a little while, you get really tight. Your muscles get really tight.
Yeah.
It's almost like that.
Okay.
And and then you work out, you do a good stretch, and it's like, oh wow, I feel good now. I can do this. You know, it's almost like that, but in an energy way. You know, so it's pretty cool.
Okay. So who do you think would benefit from Reiki the most?
I would say everyone.
But she's not biased.
No, I'm not. Everyone, because whether you're a special needs child or differently able child, a special needs mom, family, we all, and no one can tell me they don't, have anxieties. We all suffer some type of depression. Or overwhelmingness, that sometimes things feel a little out of control. And we just need to shift ourselves back into place to feel like, okay, we can go on now. Yeah.
Especially in this, I mean, but just because we're speaking to you guys, like special needs parents, like I was just saying before, the self-care for you guys is so, so important. And why not venture out to something different that is solely for you? Because you guys, I yell at you all the time, never do anything for yourselves. And you have to invest in yourself. You have to be willing to put in that time, because Gina is doing this, she's better able to handle situations for Cadence. And so when they go to the doctor situation, like you're able to handle those things. And I'm sure Jason feels it too at home.
Yeah. Actually, I have to be honest, I feel like the connection between my husband and I are even stronger since becoming a Reiki practitioner. Not that because I'm very blessed. I'm very blessed in that department. But I just feel like our connection, our spiritual connection is very, very tight.
Yeah.
So, but I also, because I do Reiki on my daughter, I feel like our connection is very strong as well. Not just because she's my child, but because, we just have this spiritual connection as well. So, this, and I also, I can, with her, because my daughter is nonverbal, I had an incident not too long ago where she was grunting. And I know when my daughter grunts, there's something seriously wrong, because she doesn't just do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, okay, let's figure out what's going on with you. I lied her down on the couch. I took my wands out, and I just let energy guide me. I let Reiki guide me. I went over her whole body, and all of a sudden my hands just stopped right in her abdomen. And I said, you're getting cramps. I mean, the heat that I was getting from her and my wands were vibrating literally in my hands. I said, okay, I know what's going on now. I figured it out, and sure enough, I gave her a couple of Advil, and she was good. Because I don't like to just say, hey, you don't feel good, I'm just going to give you something. I like to figure out, I'm one of those, I like to figure out what's happening now, what's going on with your body, since she can't tell me. So, yeah.
Yeah, especially with nonverbal children.
It's the hardest.
They, number one, become so frustrated because they can't communicate to you what they really need, whether they're hungry, whether something's hurting them, whether they're just feeling sick, they're coming down with a cold. They're not able to communicate that with you.
Yeah.
And just that's like such an awesome way to connect yourself with someone who is nonverbal, to be able to kind of sense things, because like you mentioned earlier, it is a guessing game for you guys a lot of the time. Like,
and I'm sure,
just don't know.
No, I'm sure, just like myself, most of our mommies out there, or daddies, you have your checklist. You go down that checklist, and then you say, well, no, it couldn't be that, it couldn't be this. They had a BM 3 days, or a day ago, whatever, and it couldn't be that. So what's going on now?
Yeah.
So, that's another reason why I've gotten phone calls where parents, they just want me to come over and try and figure out, something, what's, in an area, so, and just say, hey, especially if the pediatrician's going, there's nothing wrong. That's the thing. They're fine. And I'm like, no, something's wrong. Something's going on. You know?
You guys always know.
Oh gosh, and if a doctor tells you that the full moon does not affect your child, no. Yes, it does.
It definitely does.
Oh yes, and yeah, we had a heck of a moon tonight and yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yep. So yeah, it just messes with the atmosphere, and their pressures get off, and their energies get off, and yeah, with everybody really, not just our children. Just you always feel a little off when the atmosphere is either high or low. It kind of does this. So yeah, and that's where Reiki comes in.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I guess if you wanna, so tell us more about like what a session might look like.
Okay. So I will set you up on my table, and I will start with your head area first. And I will go to your shoulder, I'll go to your chest, go to your stomach. Now, we all have what's called chakras. You have your crowns, you have your third eye, you have your throat, your heart, your solar plex, your sacral, and your root. So sometimes those get a little bit out of line, and that's why you would feel the depression or anxiety, because something shifted off. And that's where I come in, and I can try and help you get it back into alignment. And that's why I like to start here, and just I like to go to the right for some reason. That's where I'm drawn to. So I go from the head and then go around to your feet, back around, and I end at your head. So, and then if I feel an area in your body where I feel like you need me to work on it a little bit more, that's when I will focus more energy on that particular area. Like I said, I will sage you first, because it's we all have residual energies. Residual energies are everywhere. So I like to cleanse that area out first.
Okay.
But yeah, it's just, the relaxation. That's where I really want you to feel that calmness that you've probably never felt before. So yeah,
so cool.
It's amazing.
What are some of the things that I guess people that you've done Reiki on, performed Reiki on, what are some of the things maybe you've seen, or what are some of like specific examples maybe of like what people have told you, aside from what we already kind of talked about with like my sister and stuff? Like, give us some more examples so maybe like people can relate and find themselves in those stories. I've
had people tell me that they feel like a weight has been lifted off. I've heard people tell me also that they're thinking clearer. They're not so jumble-headed, crazy-headed, and a sense of release, a peaceful release, and that they can go on with their day. People are fighting so many different challenges in life, and it's just, we are our worst enemy, so your mind plays games on you, and you just answer the question.
Oh, let's see. Reiki is very powerful in many ways, not just relaxation, but helps with pain and discomfort, which often helps.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, Reiki is, some people it works right away with, like your sister. It depends on how open a person is. So it can, sometimes it takes 3 times, sometimes it takes more time. But I know some, like myself, I felt it right away. I felt a release right away. So yeah, it can take a couple of times so you can feel something. And going back to pain, that's why I would focus on an area on your body if I felt that you were in an area. Or some people tell me, Gina, I'm kind of, having a headache today. So I will focus on that area. It's been great.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Does anybody who's watching have any questions or anything that you'd like Gina to answer? because I really think that I'm so into that stuff. I so believe in it, and I think
I haven't treated her yet.
Not yet.
And I have to.
Yes.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, I feel that they're very resistant to try things that seem so like outside of their realm of like realisticness. You know, like it seems a little bit. You think that just by doing that you can bring energy out of me. Like it might not be something they totally feel like they believe in, and I'm such a believer, so I would be totally open to it. But
skeptics.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like what would you say to skeptics? Like what would you maybe?
You know what? I would say try it. It's not going to hurt you. Reiki doesn't hurt. You know,
That's
so
a good thing.
yeah, just try it. And if you felt that it didn't work or you didn't feel anything, then you never do it again. But you know, I would say definitely at least try. Give it a try. Try it. Because I wouldn't be doing it for 12 years if I felt that it was a hoax or it didn't work or didn't see a difference in my own child.
Right.
You know, so yeah, it's beautiful.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's so important for everyone to remember too, of you need to take care of yourself. And I always go back to this, and I swear every Facebook Live is like situated based on parents, because it's so true. I see it every single day. You guys come in and there's another insurance battle you have. There's another, somebody didn't put their child's seatbelt on the bus, or like on, and it's just, there's constantly battles that you guys have to face more than anything that like other people may have to face. You're faced with real situations every single day that are just compiled on. And the feeling of overwhelm, I can only imagine, is so intense.
Yeah.
And after a while, that catches up with you. And
what happens when that catches up to you? You get sick.
Yeah. You get sick.
Your immune system starts going down.
Like parents complain of like, yeah, you're lifting your child maybe every day, back pain and stuff like that. But it's also the stress of your life. Like you're constantly, if your body is constantly in a fight or flight mode where you're constantly like adrenaline is pumping because you're constantly on edge with anxiety and things, like you need some way to kind of venture off to release that somewhere.
You also need to step back. That's a big thing for people. You know, everybody wants to just jump into a situation when you need to really just stop talking and just listen and then come back with a good answer. Because that was a big thing for me, because I'm a very, tough chick, and I just, why?
You're so quiet, Gina. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Well, for instance, I had an issue with the insurance company on Monday regarding one of my daughter's seizure medications. They told me that it was too early to refill the medication. And I'm going, what are you talking about? I have one more dosage left. So it was, they had to look at their video footage of when I picked up the medication to them counting out pills, but I found out they weigh pills. They actually don't sit there going counting them. And I felt like, what are you trying to say? I do know people got, they got to be careful. I get it. However, she's been on this medication since she was a baby. So I said, okay, I'm not going to freak out, because I know if she doesn't get this medication, she's going to start seizing on me. So I had a game plan just in case. I was calling the doctor, of course, and letting her know what's happening. But I didn't want to start screaming at the pharmacist yet. So, because I needed to find out what was going on. So they said, okay, we're going to look at this footage, and then we're going to get back to you. So the whole time, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to stress over this, because I know it's going to work out. Like, I felt it. It's going to work out. So an hour later, I got a phone call from the pharmacist saying, we messed up big time. They shorted my daughter 28 pills.
28?
28 pills.
Well, that's a lot of
Yeah.
miscounting.
Yeah, and we're talking one of the most biggest pharmaceutical, pharmacy places you can get medications from. But yeah, but I didn't freak out. I waited. I knew it was going to work out. I knew I'm very careful with that stuff. So both my husband and I are very careful with medications and stuff. So, but that's where I found even doing Reiki on myself, because I do Reiki on myself every day. And I feel so good after I do it, because it's just my release. And I think if I didn't do it every day, I would overreact. Because, yeah.
Easy to.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, I wouldn't even blame you if you did, because it's just the things you go through every day. The wheelchair situation, with the foot plate, not having it for however long.
Months.
Safety things for your child. The issues that you guys face are just insane. Like, it's the safety of your child. It's the quality of life for your child. And then you're faced to have to battle everything all of the time.
Yes. And if you overreact, though, you're just going to get yourself upset or sick, and it's not going to solve anything. That's why I say take a step back. Who do I need to get in touch with now? Who else do I have to call?
Like a better way around the situation.
Yes.
Instead of reacting to the situation, you can respond to it.
Yeah.
I always like that term, because you can, reacting is a very immediate response, an immediate human response, and then responding is more thought out about, well, how am I going to get around this, because it's not going my way right now, and I need to find a way that it is going to be able to be in my benefit, and if not, then how do I change my perspective about it?
Exactly. So yeah, you really have to look at the broad picture sometimes. So at least in our, and like you said, with us, special needs families, it's hard to do that a lot of the times, because there is something one after another, and you're like, what now? What next? That's what I always say, or have said, what's next? What's next? What are we going to get hit with now? But then I just said, you know what? I'm just going to put it out there. I'm just going to release it, because I know it's going to work out and everything's going to fall into its place.
And then for that hour time, you were able to kind of just be relaxed and just kind of figure things out, instead of getting yourself all worked up, and then it ended up working out anyway.
It did. And I knew it. I knew it. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, this journey has been a true blessing. I'm so grateful for it. I feel like it's made me a different person. It has made me a different person. Yeah. And please ask questions.
Yeah.
Come
Anybody have
on.
any questions? I'm gonna send it out anyway. So,
Yeah. Okay.
People may have.
Yeah. Please do.
But
please do.
Yeah.
So.
Anything else that you want people to know about Reiki that, I know we've talked how it's changed your life, how it's improved your relationships, your perspective, who it helps. I know we covered all that, but any last things that you want everybody to kind of know?
I would say, especially to skeptics, just try it. Just try it. If not with me, with somebody else. It won't hurt. And it's just a form of therapy. Think of it as that. You have physical therapy, occupational therapy. Reiki is just a form of natural energy healing therapy.
And
Go ahead.
sorry, in an age where it's constantly turning to meds, that it's a different alternative, that if you need it, that's fine, but this could be a way that maybe you don't need as high of a dose, or maybe you just can slowly back away and try to heal yourself too.
Yeah, and in a more natural way, because actually all those medications do more harm to our bodies than good.
Right.
They do good for a little while, and then all of a sudden you get your blood work back, and so yeah. But stay on all your medications, though. Don't change anything.
Throw it out in the garbage now that Gina's here.
Yeah, right? No.
I'm kidding.
But, Reiki just kind of helps with all of that.
Yeah.
It's just a different type of therapy to try.
Which I'm totally going to.
Okay.
But if you guys are interested in Reiki or you want to know more and you want to actually speak to Gina herself, we'll be sending out all of her information, all your personal information out to the world.
Just not my address.
People showing up at your door.
I know, right?
So that you can reach out to her. If you're one of our clients, we have her cards right at the front desk, because I truly only recommend things if I truly believe in them. And Gina, I can see it every single time that she comes in with her daughter and her husband, and it's just, there is a calmness. And I so believe in these energies, and the way that other people have their energy totally affects you. And think about it from like a work perspective too. You go into a work environment that's such a high stress environment. You bring that energy with you.
Just in traffic alone. I do breathing techniques and behind my wheel. Yeah.
Did you want to go through some of the things?
I did actually, and I want you to do it too. I want you to put your feet down. All right. At home, please do it. It feels great. You're working muscles as well. Take your right hand, put it on your chest. Take your left hand, put it on your tummy. And I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to breathe through your nose. We're going to do this 3 times. Deep breath and breathe out hard. Just feel that release. You almost feel like a going on. Chance feels it.
Chance feels calm too.
We love you, buddy.
You have to be on
You're
camera.
the best. You're such
Say
a
hi
man.
to everybody.
Say hi.
Thank you. It's like,
You're
look,
such a
I
good
want to do
boy.
breathing exercises.
Yes. Feels good. I did it 3, but it's better to do 5 to 10.
Okay.
Like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Ready, buddy?
It does. Just having those deep breaths, just gives you that sense of calm too. Like in it. I do deep breathing a lot too, but it's so good.
Do you do fire breathing?
No. Ooh, tell me more.
Fire breathing is just breathing out really hard.
Okay.
You're just getting all that frustration out. And I'll do that when, like Monday, I was doing that. So what you do with that, again, I like to, put your hand over your heart, tummy, and then just, sorry, Chancey. Are you gonna give me kisses?
Chance, you're ruining our face with lies.
I know. But yeah, so when things are really going bad or very stressful, I like to do that. It just feels good, a release. And yeah, my husband does that too.
That's good.
Am I doing it right?
That's really cute.
Yeah, but thanks everybody for tuning in.
If you don't have any other questions, we'll let you go, but make sure that you reach out to us if you have any questions. We'll make sure to give you Gina's contact information so that you can set up a session with her. Even if it's one time just to try it, it will totally change your life and be totally worth it. You can ask Michelle how she felt about it when you are in the office. And we have her cards up front, so we'll be sure to send out the information. But thanks for joining us. And if you have any questions, just let us know.
Namaste.
And thank you, Gina, for coming.
Thank you.
I love it.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
You gotta figure out how to end this. There we go.